guys, it's Foxy. Welcome back to another video. Today we are doing a root building tutorial. This is episode 1. I'm going to do a few episodes, sort of teaching you how to do root building if you are just starting with it. So yeah, right, let's get started. What you're going to do is you need to go to the home screen. I'm going to go and click build. And ignore the fact that I've got like 20 different routes. But there's more down there. You can just see the scroll bar, it's so small. Go to new route. And then choose your own template. Today I'm going to choose West Coast Main Line over Shap. Because that's near where I live, so that's quite cool. You need to name your route. I'll call this YouTube tutorial. No, YouTube route building. There we go. YouTube route building. Then you're going to need to click create. So you're going to need to scroll and find it. It's going to be around here, isn't it? There you go. YouTube route building. Again, once you've done that, you're going to need to go and click edit. And once you've clicked that, it's going to show a screen like this. Just going to run through a few ads. It's sort of ads. It's trains them just letting you know of new things which they've done, and just photos of people playing it. I guess like this. There's some pretty good photos. But yeah, you need to wait for a little bit until it opens. There we go. We are now here, and I forgot that I turned on my contrast to make it look a little bit nicer. But yeah, all right. So now once you've done that, now you are in your little world. It's pretty flat, but we're going to change that soon. So first I'm going to show you how to lay down tracks. So you're going to need to go to the track icon, or linear object tools. Then you're going to need to choose your track. So I'm going to go, so make sure you go and click this track with the little grey box above it. And then boom, you're now here. But sometimes it's going to be a default. So always remember to go down and click the one which you're using, which is West Coast Main Line 2 default. Then that'll give you all the correct ones. So I'm going to get a good one. What about this? Does this one look nice? Oh yeah, this is the one which I use a lot. It's got a good little line to it. I think we're going to use this one. So the first thing which you'll need to do is you're going to need to set your settings. So as soon as you click it, this little line should appear at the side of your screen. You need to go and hover over it, and it'll bring this up. So you can choose how. So this chooses what type of track it is. So it's going to be main line. You're going to be able to bullets, but it changes your curves essentially. So main line, they're going to be pretty gentle if you turn it. So the limit is that. That is the limit. Well, for example, yards are pretty slow speed, so you can make them pretty bendy. So let's go and click yard, and yeah, look it now you can bend it a lot more. So choose one of them, and I'm going to click mainline. This little this little electrification icon, usually it'll say overhead wires, but sometimes it'll just say none. But if it's on overhead wires, you can choose whether you want it to have wires. I am going to click none. So now there's no overhead wires. So now you can choose this. So these are your speed limits. So for the top one is speed limits for passenger trains or just more important trains. So let's type in 85 miles an hour. And for freight trains, let's do 60. So now you've got all your settings done. You can start laying your track. So what you do is you go and find where you want to start, click, and then move your mouse, and as you can see, it's making a little track. So you can move it to the side to side to choose whether you want it to curve or not, and depending on how much you move it, it'll change how sharp it is. So let's make it go like that for a bit. And now you're wondering, well, did I got a single track? We need to make sure that maybe trains have a place to run round, or like change what end of the train they are on. So let's make it double track. So good. So you're gonna need to go down to here and see these little 2 tracks. You're gonna this modifier changes how many tracks you have at once. So let's change this to 2. And now you've got 2 tracks. Boom, 2 tracks. And now you've got 2 tracks, but still trains can't use it because it just ends here. So what we're going to have to do is to change it back to 1, and then you can connect it like that. So it should just snap on like that, and then you can curve it, and then you can press well, this is a little bit, there's not enough space for it to come on, so you're gonna have to change this to yard, so it's a little bit easier to make the curve. There we go. So now once you've done that, you once you've done this one, so I'm really bad at this. You're going to need to curve like this until the little yellow box thing sort of comes up to the rail. Actually, no, I'll just do it again so you can see a little bit better. So what you're going to need to do, you're going to need to go and do this until it sort of comes up to the rail, pretty much, like that. And once you've done that, then you're going to need to curve it back around again. And then you're going to need to click Control. It should just snap on. Yeah, there we go, look, it just snaps on. Once it snaps on, you can click, and boom, it is now connected. Got a little hand point lever here, but if you don't want the little hand point lever, you can go to here and uncheck the manual junctions tab thingy, and now when you do this again, it'll be there will be no point thing. And this is good for when you're on like the big main line, and it just doesn't have many point levers. Alright, so we're gonna need to put our track down again, aren't we? So, how far do you want your track to go? That is your choice. That is completely your choice. So, I'll put it back to 2. Change the speed limits to the ones which we did again. Perfect. So now, you're going to need to click, and it should just snap on. It should just be able to go like click, and it will be connected. And then you can sort of just move it around. You can sort of just go where you want. Make it curve this way, and curve this way, and curve this way. The big straight bit here, and yeah, that's cool. Now, what if you're wondering, hey, I want my railway to go up a little bit. So what you'll need to do to make gradients, you'll need to go up to this tab with the little toolbox and go and click the gradient thing. It's just this little like angle here. Do that, and these little arrows should come up. Now you can these will be automatically placed on the joints of the track. But if you want them to be in a different place, if you move your cursor there, you can put your little markers down where you want them to be. So now we're gonna let's make a gradient here. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to move it up close to it until it snaps inside of it. So it'll look like that. And then you click and you lift it up. So when you lift it up, let's move it up to, let's say, 401. It says down here. It now says 401. And you can do the same thing on this side. So let's go and lift it up to 401. Just get as close as you can. 4. That's good enough, right? 4. It's like the most minuscule difference, but you know. There you go. So now you've made a gradient. Right, well done. Now let's double it. So let's do 8. So we're going to have to go over it again till it snaps. Sometimes it'll turn a little bit darker and it makes it a little bit easier to see that you've clicked on it. And when it goes up, we're going to make it go until it says 8. Okay, 8. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. And 8. That's close enough. And there we go, you now got your gradient. But now you're like, what? Now the track's floating. We don't want that. Well, now it's time for you to make your first embankment. So what you're going to need to do is you need to go to this paintbrush. And you can go to this little magnet here. And it's called Snap. And what you need to do is you need to go down and make sure that the track icon is selected. So now once you've done that, you're going to need to go down here and find where it starts. So it starts about here, and then you're simply just going to need to go over where it is and click. Now, depending on whether you've done this before, this little grey bit is where it's done. Essentially, that's the area where it's used. So in order to change that, you need to go down here and change it to like 50, and that'll make it a little bit bigger, like this. And if you want even bigger, you can go to 100. Now the bigger it gets, it lags out your game a little bit. You might notice that it's getting a little bit laggier. But look, as you see, now it's at 40 to 50. But when I place it, it goes down to 15, which kind of lags it out. But yeah. So with this, you need to just go where your track is, click, and this big grey box will come up, and then just move it along where your track is. So just move it along, and it will make a lovely little embankment. And if you continue doing that, there you go. Now you've got a smooth hill on its own little bit of area, I guess. Now, that was episode 1 of doing real root building with Foxy, and I will see you in the next episode. I think I'm going to call the next one Building Infrastructure. Yeah, that sounds good. Goodbye.